No intro video? Okay.
No?
Nope, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
No intro. Okay, producer. By
Great,
the way, we're in the market for a new producer.
All right. Well, I guess what's going on, Table Breakers? Welcome to the first episode. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. The first real episode that anyone should care about of 7-1 Blitz for 2022. We already fucked up. Let's hope the Bills don't do the same. How you boys doing? What's up, DJ and Doug?
What's going on? Was
Nothing
doing good.
much.
I was expecting the intro to pump me up and get me going, and here we are. So
The thing fucking glitched. But anyway, I'm doing pretty fucking good.
yeah, blame the glitch.
Someone has to blame the glitch.
Change your name up there to Glitch. Anyway, DJ, I like yours. It's Alan in the hips.
Yeah. Change it for fantasy, change it for Twitter.
There you go. All right, guys. So it's here. Week 1 is here. It's finally here. For months before, it seems like so far away. It's like, oh, it's never going to get here type of thing. It's like that every year. And then it's kind of just in your face. And we're the very first game this year. We're playing the Super Bowl champs as they raise their banner. And usually Super Bowl teams do pretty well when they do that. So let's talk about it. Let's just get right into it. Bills, Rams, people are saying this could be a Super Bowl preview already in week 1. DJ, how you feel going into this game?
I mean, great. It's we should pick up where we left off. I think we're going to be the ones that like buck this trend of defending champs winning at home after raising a banner, I think. So I like what we've done and adding Von Miller. I mean, we haven't even really talked about that much other than our Von Miller show. So there's a lot there.
Well, we've had like 2 shows since then. So
that's true.
I am going to say we should just appreciate this time right now. Really should. Week 1 hasn't even started yet. And before we know it, it's going to be week 8 in a flash. Like once the season starts, then everything just starts speeding up. So it's just... So usually, like around this time is like a mirage, and for the Bills though, like I'm kind of scared because like this is like the first time where like they truly were like they're like right now. I've been looking at different like betting like channels, and right now the biggest bets to win the Super Bowl are like the Bills and the Eagles, and just the Eagles is kind of like, I mean, I know that they've had an amazing draft, and Jalen Hurts is kind of rising up, and but just the fact that those two are really like the leading pack now is just kind of weird. And it's always at some point during the middle of the season, it just completely obliterates. I mean, hey, and I bet when you go inside the locker room, the Bills are probably like, hey, you know what? There's all this noise, but like it's pretty much have to take it 1 week at a time. So it's just, I got to believe that they really do believe they have the team to pretty much take care of business.
Yeah, I think
I couldn't agree with you more about appreciate the time, first of all, because you're right. You blink and it's week 8 and it's freaking winter and it's already like September, October is my favorite 2-month stretch of the year, the whole entire year. It really is, because football doesn't give me, I mean, I always have heart attacks during football, but at least it's not as bad now as it will be in like November, December. And, it's just fall weather, summer-ish fall weather, stuff like that. Yep. So before it's just ice for 9 months, I just like to appreciate it.
And what's great about like September and October is that like, oh wait, was DJ talking?
No.
Oh, well, what's great about is that like, let's just say your team comes off to a shit start, then it's like mid-October. It's not officially over. You don't want to kill yourself yet. You don't want to just blast it all away, and but then when November, December comes along and your team's like 3-8, then it's like, but no. So like September and October are truly elite, absolutely elite.
Well, for us now, the Bills don't really lose back-to-back games, so there's no real sky is falling moments really. Even if we lose one, like Jacksonville last year, I think half the fans thought we were done, and we were over here being like, relax. Any given Sunday. It's unfortunate, but good teams rebound, which they did. So yeah, we'll be positive like always, unless we fuck up and somehow the Dolphins win the division. Then I'm gonna be miserable.
That's not even possible.
It might be.
One thing. Why don't we say this now? Why don't we say that? Well, that's a different conversation that we shouldn't even have. But why don't we say this now, though, before anything even happens? Because there's always, especially the last year and now especially this year, there's this mindset of they're going to win every game by 40 points. They're not going to allow 1 point on defense, and every drive is going to end in a touchdown all the time, and they're never going to lose a game. And if they do, then they are total dog shit. That there's a reason no one's gone undefeated since 1972. There's been a lot of great teams since 1972, and none of them went without losing a game. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, I'm not breaking any news by saying the Bills will not go undefeated in 2022, and that's not a knock. It just doesn't happen. And just relax about it.
Yeah. Can we talk about what we're looking forward to with the Rams and the Bills matchup?
Yeah, start us off.
James Cook. James Cook is what I'm looking into. Because I think me and you have had little conversations, Gabe, on the side about how I think he's going to take over for RB1, pretty early on here. I don't think he's going to show too much that they can't ignore it. I think he's a guy who takes advantage of his opportunity and makes it really easy for the coaching staff to be like, all right, we're going to go with you because you're on fire. I think he just adds a whole different dimension. He can follow Josh when Josh starts to move. And that's what I look forward to seeing what James Cook can do. I think he's going to just really excel in this offense.
How long do you think?
Wait, hang on real quick. I want to ask him a specific question about that. You mentioned James Cook specifically for week 1. Do you mean more as a pass catcher or a runner? Because strictly running against Aaron Donald week 1 in your rookie debut could be a little intimidating. So did you mean more as a pass catcher?
Yeah, I think that's his role in this offense anyways, is going to be a pass catcher. I don't know if he is, he can maybe get a pitch and get to the outside because he's got that burst. But I don't know if he's going to be an HB dive kind of back ever, honestly.
My only concern for James Cook is I feel like it's just going to take him a while to finally climb up and prove himself because, it's not like, I do believe at some point he is going to be RB1. I do agree with you there, DJ, but Devin Singletary, he's still going to be like that right inside the tackles kind of guy. And with Zach Moss, and they're going to use Zach Moss, especially with like red zone. And it's just frustrating because we've been used to those running backs for the past couple years, and it's just like we want to see something new. And DJ, when do you I don't know if you looked at the schedule. Obviously you have, but what do you think is like a good time? When do you think that James Cook finally does take over? Do you think it's this season, or it probably won't even happen until next season?
No, I think it could be this season. I think, like you said, I think he's going to have enough explosive plays that McDermott's not going to be able to keep him off the field. I just looked at the depth chart. He's listed as the third back.
Yeah.
He's going to jump Moss pretty quick, I think, honestly. I could see him really taking a bigger role if I were to guess a game where I would see him maybe splash a little bit more, week 5 against the Steelers here. I think that week is a really good week where you could see him, maybe take advantage of his opportunity. I just think he's going to be sneaky. I think he's just going to be too good to ignore. He's going to make enough plays where you can't keep him off the field.
And because I do agree with you there, but honestly, from pretty much all the teams that do these days, besides maybe the Titans, the Steelers, every single team is 1A, 1B. So I mean, so if he gets to the point where like he's pure 1B by middle of the season, I think that's a win in itself.
Yeah, I think
I think having Singletary and Cook, like, who cares if he's small? I think he can still be underrated, especially in the red zone. Good at pass catching, getting easy red zone touchdowns. And I don't know. It's just really hard to predict because like it feels like Bean and McDermott really have like this dedication, like just to keep, because when you look at James Cook, he's just going to take over, but like Moss has a chip on his shoulder. Singletary definitely has a chip on his shoulder. And I think he has the upside here because like he had a dominant second half finish to the season last year. And now he just wants to build on that and improve himself and get that second contract.
I don't know if the talent level can keep those guys relevant enough.
Oh, I mean, oh yeah, for Moss, 100%. Like, yeah, he may have a chip on his shoulder in itself, but like he's really up against himself because clearly the other two running backs are way better. But like with Singletary, I feel like he could. I think sure maybe the talent level won't be there, but I feel like he could definitely stay relevant because being a McDermott, because like they're still going to give him the chances and all that. So it's really hard to predict. It's still hard to predict. And like I said, my guess is that Cook flashes somewhere between the second season, between like the midway of the season where he shows some fantasy relevance.
Yeah, and I think too, I could see hopefully them use a wishbone with Singletary and Cook. I think that would be a nice little splash on the offense too.
Mm-hmm. And here's kind of what I think will be it might be kind of what I'm excited for week one is actually the corners.
Yeah,
because not only Alam, but Christian Benford is actually ranked to be the second starting corner.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic because like, hey, I mean, Elam is going to get those starting nods against a pretty stacked wide receiver core, and that's really going to be good just for development purposes. I'm not expecting him to kill it right away, obviously, but like getting those reps right away is just so good, especially for Benford too. So then down the season where Tre'Davious White gets healthy, then everyone, then they're going to have like a stacked cornerback core, especially with Dane Jackson back there too. So I think all that all together is just really, really good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Kaiir. He plays a little bit more physical, a little bit of clutching and grabbing. So I'm interested to see if he gets jammed up by the refs at all, kind of early on, and see if that changes the way he plays a little bit. If he does, it could change things up a little bit, but
sure.
I think he's got a pretty good. Those corners have a pretty tough test week one too. You're going to have Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson, which Allen Robinson, this might be the best offense he's ever been in. So
yeah, absolutely.
And Tyler Higbee's no slouch, and Cam Akers, is he healthy? Right, Cam Akers is finally healthy for now. So
can you guys hear me first and foremost? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. Sorry about. I know. I'm sorry.
You were looking like what's the word? Not Antonio Brown.
It's 2022 and Gabe's over there using dial-up.
It happens. No, it happens to the best of us. Okay. Some people have potato for internet, and some people don't.
This is why I hate remote recording. We're better in person.
I mean, you probably didn't have a good point, anyways. If we're being honest, so
I'm the smartest one here, and you both know it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, we'll go to Toronto for that.
Yeah. All right, go to Toronto.
I was just in Toronto.
All right, we're getting off topic.
Mm-hmm.
From what I just heard, now that I'm back in this room, DJ, you just brought up a point that is my main point for this game, my main concern, which is covering two top 20 receivers, one being top one arguably, and the other one being so. And I'm worried, it's Kaiir Elam's first game, and it's on national TV against a guy who just won the Triple Crown, and Dane Jackson against Allen Robinson. And I don't know if it's going to be more safeties playing man-to-man or doubling Kupp with one of the safeties and Elam. What do you guys see them trying to do to contain at least Kupp?
I mean, he's going to get double teamed or have safety help up top for sure.
That
I think,
actually,
I think the game plan is to get to Matt Stafford as fast as they fucking can. I think that, Von Miller is a huge piece to this game. He practiced against that offensive line last year, probably knows some weaknesses, can tell the guys about those weaknesses and hopefully disrupt him enough so he doesn't have that time to find Cooper Kupp, let him make some mistakes. I mean, Stafford is capable of making mistakes. He's a great quarterback, but he's capable.
me and Gabe were actually discussing the offensive line for the Rams, and it's
not
a
good.
lot of no names, no Bloom, haven't signed as a right tackle, and it's just I know that it's not really names that we know. Like honestly, the three other guys, it's like not really many football fans are really familiar of. Do you think that like the prominence of like the Bills defensive line could at least take over, or was the Rams or I feel like the Rams have always had an underrated offensive line. Their only one bad year was 2019. That was due to injury. But other than that, they've just had a really solid core. I know Whitworth is gone, but do you guys think they could take advantage?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think.
Well, they're retaining 3 starters from the Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mean how bad could it have been prior that they were able to win the Super Bowl with them, and the one they're replacing is right guard, and their new left tackle was already on the roster, so it's not like it's new for him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. I expect the Bills to get there eventually, but you can't expect the D-line all game long because it's more effort and energy from a defensive line to push to get through. So you need help on the back end. You can't expect like a sack or a QB hit every play. Like it's just, even for Von Miller, that's just not realistic.
Some fans don't understand that, but just got to roll with the punches and just see what happens. But in regards to the back end, another part that I'm excited about is Bernard, because I saw a position thing and he's going to be a starting linebacker. So that means they're going to be going away from their dime look. If it stays that way, because then it would be Matt Milano right outside from Edmonds middle, and then him as left outside. So he's pretty much replacing Klein. Because usually if it was the dime or nickel look, they would have him ranked as like a backup.
Yeah.
So do we think that they're going away from there?
Maybe. Yeah, why not? Maybe they're trying something new to see how it works. Go from there.
This shit sucks.
Well, again, this would happen. I'm not even going to go there. It's not even worth it. But this is what they got some talent they can add and see, experiment a little bit and see. I think the big thing with going back to the offensive line, defensive line taking over type thing is Matt Stafford is a real rhythm guy. He likes to take his drop back and find a guy. He doesn't like to, take his time and sit back there and look around. So I think if we can be disruptive enough, we can easily but we can take over that line of scrimmage. And that goes back to everything we've been saying for the last 2+ years is like, if you control the line of scrimmage, what happens?
You dominate the game.
Dominate the game, yeah.
You usually win the game, right? So I think if we're going to go right off that, I think our defensive line is a little bit better than their offensive line. The revamped defense, I think Shaq Lawson is beyond stoked to be a Bill again. And I think he's going to fit. I think he's going to be pretty good this year. So I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot of matchups. I'm interested to see how Dawson Knox is coming off the death of his brother. He hasn't really played much other than practice here and there. And he's just got back into the swing of things. I'm interested to see Poyer. He's been banged up this offseason, so we'll see what he can do, if he's was doing that for money or if he truly is banged up. And everyone's excited to see number 17 sling the football. So
let's talk about one of the most enticing matchups as far as both skill and personality. And that's Stefon Diggs against Jalen Ramsey. What do you guys see coming out of that?
Can I highlight what happened the last time they faced each other?
Sure, go for it.
I'm pretty sure Stefon Diggs only had I want to say 6 6 or 7 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns in the red zone. I'm pretty sure that's how the game went.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure since Jalen Ramsey called Josh Allen trash, Josh Allen has won every game since.
You're actually right. I remember that.
So I think Josh always looks a little. I think he actually looks to throw against Jalen a little bit more and expose him, make him look stupid. If there's any quarterback in the league that can zing a ball past his hands or his head, it's Josh Allen. So I think he gets a little ramped up for Ramsey. Whether he'll ever admit it or not, that's an opinion of mine. I think he ramps up a little bit for guys that talk shit about him, so he doesn't forget.
Especially a guy who's considered, a top, at worst, 2 cornerback in the league.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I would expect that the game plan for the Rams is, okay, Jalen, you're on Stephon all game, take him out, make him throw somewhere else. And I expect to see a lot of Gabe Davis because of that. That's number one.
I think we're going to see a lot of Gabe Davis all year.
Very true. But I expect a lot of shit talk. I expect a lot of back. I expect to see Jalen try to get in Stephon's head, try to get him to maybe throw a punch or something like that. Just stuff DBs always do, especially at that level. Those guys are both so elite at their positions that you're really going to see a chess match as far as them two. And I'm actually appreciative that we're going to be able to see that. I hope everyone else understands just how elite those two are at their positions. So it's really interesting to see who's going to come out on top in that one.
It's really good too, because Ramsey is so physical. He's one of the few like truly physical corners left in the league. And Diggs is so quick with his feet and his cutting ability and his route running that it's such a premier matchup. It's so good week 1.
And I feel like Diggs actually has a big chip on his shoulder for this week because in the divisional game against the Chiefs, I can't remember the stat line, but it wasn't good. I know that
he had like 9 yards.
He only had a 2-point conversion, and that was it. And like Gabe Davis pretty much took off the entire game. So I just feel like the energy is just going to be fired up because what DJ said before, that all that energy is going to go in there. Josh Allen's going to be fired up. Diggs is going to be fired up. So I actually think that, the Rams won the Super Bowl, but I really think we're definitely going to – it's just impossible where that energy doesn't cross in this game. It just doesn't. It's going to be explosive, and they're just going to take care of business. Well, it's been great on both sides, but I feel like the Bills' energy is going to be a little bit more.
Well, let's be real. This is what we wanted for the Super Bowl probably last year. So the NFL is giving the fans the game that probably would have, been a great game. Not that the Super Bowl wasn't, but this is like Titans going at it. I mean, these are two of the best. These two could meet again. Like we said very early on, this could be a Super Bowl preview. Two very talented teams. I'm as excited as I've ever been for. I was thinking the other day, I don't know if the Bills have ever kicked off the season.
Not in my life.
I don't know if it's been in my lifetime either. Honestly, maybe Super Bowl years, maybe. I'd have to go back and look though. I wouldn't even know that, but it's pretty cool that we're gonna be the game to kick it off. The Rams. They said like 30% of the tickets sold are from New York zip codes, so. I think that number will be, and I think that number will be a little higher too, because I know there's a lot of Bills fans out in LA. So I think that number is going
to. LA fan base isn't that strong even after a Super Bowl. It's just not a thing.
Don't they pump noise?
They might. I don't know for sure about that.
I thought I saw a video where they were pumping noise and like it sounded like it was a sellout, and there was nowhere near a sellout.
Did you guys see the USC and UCLA games? Like there were no fans at all.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. 92 at kickoff. There's a heat warning.
Inside.
What?
Wait. It's an inside stadium, right? Or is it like a little bit outside?
It's like a hybrid thing.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid.
It'll definitely be hot as fuck inside that stadium.
Yeah.
92 is hot.
Do we have to talk about that? Is that a factor or no?
No, it shouldn't be. Maybe early on. But I think the guys will adjust. They're professional athletes. I think they'll adjust as the game wears on. I would think it'd be more of a storyline later in the game if the Bills D can't get the Rams offense off the field. In that heat, that would be a problem. Bills D could get worn out. I'm not worried about Josh Allen and that offense getting worn out.
So, do you guys want to get into the score?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Go
DJ,
ahead.
kick it off.
Oh, me? Fuck. Dude.
You're right next to me. I have no choice.
38 27 Bills.
Oh shit. Okay. More than a double score game. Or
I
like
think
two
it's
score
I
game.
think it's the line of scrimmage. I think the Bills own line of scrimmage, and I think that later in the game, I think they can pull away a little bit. Not a huge victory, but 38-27.
34-31 Bills. It's gonna be an absolute. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I don't think defense is not gonna matter because that happens every single beginning of the season. And the ratings will be better than Bucks Cowboys.
Oh, its ratings are going to be the crazy. These ratings this week might not be beat all year except for the Super Bowl.
Doug, you stole my score, but flip it around. I don't want us to all be the same. I really don't want us to all be the same.
That's fair.
I feel like if we were to go back and watch tape of us being the same, it probably ends up in a loss. So
Exactly. There you go.
Probably a good thing.
Last time we made predictions, I was right. I just want to point that out. I just think because I think both offenses are just elite, and I don't know if either defense can fully stop the opposing offense, but I think Rams defense just makes one more play because of Ramsey and Aaron Donald. I think it's just that.
Real question: does Aaron Donald whip his helmet at somebody?
No, I won't do that. No. I think that was a practice, right? No, he'll be fine. But Gabe, that actually leads to one thing where if the Bills do lose, is it the end of the world?
No,
of course.
Well,
that's the right answer.
It depends. It depends who you ask. But I'd say no.
Again, when I predict a loss, that doesn't mean I don't see them winning it. It's just, I think it's a nail biter, and I think Rams are home, and they have a couple more playmakers on defense than the Bills do. If the Bills win, am I shocked? Absolutely not.
Someone out there is cursing you right now. How do you feel about that?
Oh, good for them. They're the same ones who threw out their jerseys when they lost 9-6 to Jacksonville. So I don't want to hear it.
Those people are definitely not listening to us because we give them enough shit.
If you weren't there when EJ Manuel lost the Jags in 2015, you don't deserve to be here right now.
No. If you were there when Stevie dropped the ball against the Steelers, you don't deserve to be here.
If you weren't there when Jeff Toole was leading the Bills, you don't deserve to be here.
Well, that's not. Wait a second, though, because I yell at people for gatekeeping, so we can't gatekeep. Everyone's welcome. We all suffered enough at some point here, so there's no gatekeeping here by our part. The more, the merrier.
You're right. Tad Lewis is way better than Jeff Toole.
It's Thad Lewis was,
and it's not even fucking close.
That.
I do miss Thad Lewis. I like Thad Lewis. I like him and Tyrod were awesome. I love those two.
At that point in my life, I thought Thad Lewis was the best quarterback I ever saw in a Bills jersey.
Oh my god!
Yo, I thought that was me with Tyrod. That was actually me with Tyrod Taylor.
Well, no, me too, but Thad was before Tyrod.
Yeah.
You guys are fucked in the head.
No, dude,
well,
I was watching.
Think about our lives.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching Tyrod Taylor highlights.
You were around for Flutie, weren't you? No, you probably
not really.
We were shitting our pants.
If I was, I don't remember it.
Jesus Christ. So the best quarterback you would have seen, it would have been Kyle Orton.
Yeah, that was after. But at Thad, up to Thad, that was probably the best product I saw.
That's probably fair.
Oh,
how depressing. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's so depressing.
No, the greatest thing.
We're a half hour in and we've covered one game out of 17 games. Good job, guys.
Well, to be fair, we only need Yeah. We talked about this the other day, Gabe. There's a lot of teams on this list this year. There's 4 or 5 teams coming to town or we play that has a quarterback capable. I know it's a full 53-man thing, whatever. That's bullshit. If you don't have a good quarterback, you don't win football games. We were in that state for 25 plus years. So, the teams that come to town, we don't have to really dive in. There's only a handful of good quarterbacks that we play this year. So
I'm not gonna lie. After week 7, we don't really have to say shit.
no, no. And by week 7, we're gonna know. We're gonna know if the Bills are, gonna be the 1 seed or the 2 seed probably by week 7. Honestly,
Yeah, you just got to avoid some, really fluky shit.
the good thing is for the Chiefs to be the 1 seed, which is the only team I think capable of potentially being the 1 seed, is that division's gonna beat the fuck out of each other.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
Me and Gabe talked about that.
They could split I don't know if there's a sweep in that division. Could be splits the whole way. That's going to be interesting, that division. But all right,
I don't know why, but I think. Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know why, but unless there's an injury to one of the quarterbacks in the AFC West, I see 3 teams far better than the Raiders. I don't know why, I just do.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Fair.
I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion.
Week 2, Titans here. Monday Night Football. Right? That's Monday night?
Yeah,
yep.
it is.
I think the Bills win their home opener on national TV. I know a lot of people have been it's kind of been nationally known to write off the Titans right now because of how they went out last year. They were like this fake number 1 seed, and they were able to sack Joe Burrow 9 times, but they still lost at home after having a bye. I wouldn't necessarily say the Titans are going to just suck completely. Yeah, they lost A.J. Brown. They replace him with the rookie that's kind of built the same, but he's not going to be A.J. Brown right away. And they bring in Robert Woods, and as long as he's healthy from his ACL tear, I think he'll be very productive. They had Julio Jones last year, but in my opinion, they really didn't have Julio Jones last year. They were the 1 seed without him. They were the 1 seed without Derrick Henry for most of the year. So he's back healthy for sure. They have Austin Hooper from Cleveland. So I don't expect it to be like this wash, but I do expect the Bills to win. I expect them by the end of the game to be up by somewhere between 7 to 10, and that's that. But I don't expect the Titans to just be this cakewalk.
They also lost Harold Landry for the year. He tore his ACL.
They did. So
I think that takes off. They clearly the best pass rusher. Their secondary is still good. Byard.
Yeah. The Titans don't really scare me. I think that at some point Derrick Henry, I don't think he can keep up what he's been doing just because of the style of football he plays. And without as many weapons around him, I don't know. I don't know if the Titans are going to be that good this year.
Yeah, I have the Colts as the better team this year.
Yeah, I think
way better offensive line, better everything.
We could always talk about Jacksonville too. We've done it before where we kind of they're a team that kind of should take the step in that division too. Trevor Lawrence has the weapons, and I think Peterson is a much better coach than Urban. Play with your younger sister, Urban Meyer. But that's a fact. That's a W for me. Like Gabe said, I don't think we have to really dive into the Titans that much. I think we can beat them at home on national TV.
Yeah, Doug, I agree with your point about the Colts. I think they take the division. I expect the Titans to be like 9-ish wins.
Yeah, 9-8.
I could see that.
Maybe 8-9 if they have more injuries throughout the year.
Yeah.
Or if Tannehill pulls a Carson Wentz, it just sucks, and then they have to start Willis.
Which it could happen.
Hey, I might have to eat my words on Malik Willis. He might be all right.
I always believed in him.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I know it's just preseason, but we'll see.
He looks like a mini Kyler.
One thing before we move on. We talk about Derrick Henry not being able to sustain. He did kind of single-handedly beat us last year, apart from a certain play call that people argue should have been something different. But if it went well, then it's all this is amazing. But that's neither here nor there.
There also was defense. There was also holding on the offense that didn't call.
There was. I remember that like it was yesterday. I think that was
bad.
also Monday night.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're all on the same page with that game. Bill should win that one at home.
All right, next week, Miami.
Yeah, we go to Josh's house, right?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's never losing a game to Tua Tagovailoa. Like that's
yeah.
All right, week 4.
Yeah, week 4. Yeah,
week 4.
Not gonna lie to you guys.
What?
Baltimore's interesting.
Baltimore is extremely interesting for so many reasons. One, what's going to happen with Lamar if he gets hurt? He's fucked.
Yep.
I don't know, and I just think that there was moments over the last couple years, in my opinion, with the Ravens that Harbaugh's message maybe wasn't being received as well, if that makes sense. He's been the coach there for so long that they haven't had this like great amount of success, I guess you would say. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I think that he could be a little stale, and I think Greg Roman fucking sucks. There's that too.
But I think with the Ravens, they're always viewed as like this very respected playoff caliber team, well coached, always know how to draft well and develop well. And they're kind of forgotten right now, I think, because they missed the playoffs last year. They had a lot of injuries. I mean, they just got the bad end of the stick last year, especially at the end. They lost a lot of one. Remember, they were losing that stretch of games by like going for 2 when they could have tied it and stuff like that.
They were 8-3 and finished 8-9.
Yeah, they were the 1 seed at one point in the year, which is crazy. I do expect them to be playoff caliber. Like I would expect if they don't win the division, I'd expect they're one of the wild cards for sure. And
their defense is top 5. Is a top 10 when healthy.
Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna do all these previews assuming each roster is healthy. I know they won't be, but that's just kind of how we have to do it.
Yeah, we'll break them down closer when we're actually on that week. But
yeah, of course, for sure. Ravens, it's no secret their big thing is running the ball and throwing the tight ends, and those 2 things have been a problem for the Bills' defense in the past, with much lesser rushing attacks and much lesser tight end play. And I would say the Ravens have a top 3 tight end, and as far as a whole, probably top 1 rushing attack. So I'm very interested to see how that works out. That one's in Baltimore. I could see the Ravens edging that one out just because of schematics.
Yeah, I actually have the Bills losing that one because the Ravens are going to go like on this early season surge, and then then they lose by a field goal. But that's just. The Ravens always are always really good in the beginning of the season. Then they just then injuries will come to factor later in the season. Obviously,
I feel like too, it's going to be like a wet, dreary fucking day for some reason.
Very well could be October in Baltimore, and if that's the case, that's just unfortunate. I mean, it's something you can control, and you can't get your best team out there, especially a team that with their style of play like the Bills have. But it's something you have to live with. I mean, we lived it with the wind game against New England where who the better team is, but they just couldn't win just because of that. So that very well could play a factor in that. Again, when I have them losing, I don't have them getting killed. I have them losing 1 possession games because of little things. And this is one of them.
Yeah, this could go either way. I think we'll have a better feel of it when we actually do that week preview in week 4. But yeah, it's one early on. If I were to say, it could be 1 week to lose.
Yeah,
week 5.
Mitch Trubisky is going to come in pissed out of his mind and light the fuck up out of us.
No, he's not going to be pissed at us.
I'm kidding.
No, he's going to throw 3 picks because he's so grateful.
No, I think this just comes down to a team that's kind of like in a mini rebuild.
Yeah.
versus a team that's on the verge of a
Super Bowl
championship.
contender.
So, I as much as I want to root for Mitch, I'll root for him every week. But this one, I think this is probably an easy win. I know, and because you really just got to focus on Najee Harris, in my opinion. I know they got Deontay Johnson and from youth and stuff.
Chase Claypool.
Yeah,
Well,
I think.
Let's say this though. I'm picking the Bills to win. I agree with you, but the Steelers did beat us, and you could say, as far as just last year is concerned, they beat us with a worse quarterback. I know Big Ben, like big picture, is a Hall of Famer, but you could argue Mitch is better this year than Ben was last year.
But that was week 1 last year,
Yes.
and we all talked about that game.
We did.
Yeah.
We said it was the worst week to play Big Ben.
It was the worst because he was healthy. It was the worst week to play Big Ben.
They would have beaten him any other week.
Yep. And we were probably the only people out there calling that, and we were dead on. Like that was, I just don't. Yeah, you're right. You're right everywhere else, but in week 5 we should be hitting our stride. And if we're coming off a potential Ravens loss, and we're coming back home, I think we're okay.
I just want to say, Steelers. Yes, you're right. Mini full rebuild, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just because of Tomlin and the roster they have, I still respect them.
Yeah, I respect Tomlin. He's a great head coach. So I think
plus Watt can just take over a game anytime he wants.
It's true too.
And also their secondary is still pretty good with Fitzpatrick. So it's just the interesting thing though is that what's the chance that Pickett starts this game? Like where do you think
Zero.
Not going to happen?
Nope.
Unless injuries involved, no, not yet.
No, Trubisky's going to get a fair shake there. I don't think they're in any hurry to rush Pickett.
I'm excited for him, though.
And I actually think Trubisky can be good.
No,
I think
no, that's an amazing situation. You have
he should be an NFL starter.
You got yourself a top-tier running back. You have 3 really good receivers.
A tight end, a decent offensive line. I mean,
one possible All-Pro. That defense is good. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, just not that week. And then we go week. Then after that, we got to travel to Kansas City for the revenge game.
Back to where it all began.
To revenge those 13 seconds. I still haven't watched that game.
I mean, I never watch old games, whether they're good or bad.
Well, it's the best. It's the best game I ever watched in real time, and I'll never probably watch it again. So
True.
That was that was one of the single best fucking playoff performances ever by a quarterback. So it's unfortunate that I won't watch it. But
yeah, and that's not even biased. You can't even deny it. Like
no, that's considered.
It is.
Yeah. This is a 4:00 game, 4:30, whatever. Not prime time. I mean, I guess this is prime time because it'll be probably the
America's game of the week.
Yeah, game of the week.
I consider that prime time.
Yeah, I mean, 4:00, and it's going to be nationally televised, so it's a good game. This one, it's a Chiefs-Bills game. It's up in the air. It might come down to who has the ball fucking last.
Yeah.
As it's kind of been. This is just Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. This is Dan Marino versus Jim Kelly. It's Troy Aikman versus fucking Brett Favre. Sure. Good. Steve Young. So, because the Niners and the Cowboys always played each other. That was fucking loud. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear it.
That was fucking loud. But yeah, it's like it's the battle. It's I know it's again we talk 52-man or 53-man roster, but it's always the quarterbacks that get the attention on the battle. And Mahomes and Allen is the premier matchup in the NFL. I can't think of 2 other quarterbacks I'd rather go head to head than those 2.
And I mean, there's a decent chance this is only the first of 2 times they play each other again. Like it's very, very well possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, that's just the era that they're the 2 teams of this conference. Yeah, and they're going to be because of those 2, like you just said.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. This one I don't want to talk too much about because we're gonna talk a shit ton about it once it's here. But yeah, it's one I circled. I'm ready for that game. So
I do expect the Chiefs to figure out a way to move on from Tyreek Hill and still be very productive. I have no reason to think that they're going to be bad because of that.
No,
I just don't.
I think if anything, they probably got a little bit better. Honestly, I think
Yeah.
younger, a little bit. I like Sky Moore a lot. So
it's going to take a while for him to develop, but
yeah.
I like Trent McDuffie. George Karlaftis is really going to develop into their edge rusher one. They did a lot of good things.
I mean, they're still weapons galore for Mahomes.
They replaced Honey Badger with Justin Reed.
Yeah.
Edge, here's a good question. Do we think Bills Chiefs is going to do you think with this rivalry, do you think it would become like a top rivalry in the NFL? Like, I'm assuming you guys have watched like top 10, right?
Yeah.
Where they do like top, like where they put Patriots versus Colts because of Brady versus Manning.
This is Patriots Colts. This is Patriots Colts.
This is Peyton versus Tom Brady, 100%.
Like Bills Chiefs is always going to look at like, what people like kids are going to remember Bills versus Chiefs. It's November, 4:00, those two teams. And
1,000%.
And, it's
the next 10 years. I mean, that's the next 10 years premier matchup.
And when you really think about that, because for me and Gabe specifically, like let's be honest, like for the beginning of like when the Patriots and Colts, we weren't able to experience like that rivalry develop because we were so young.
Yeah.
So it really is kind of an honor to see like these two teams really develop and like seeing and being there for the beginning of when these quarterbacks really became the superstars that they are today. And it's honestly awesome. Now everyone, for all the Colts fans, Patriots fans that pretty much had a whole decade of like being like the top tier of the NFL, the stars of like, wanting, being the number one primetime slot. And now we have that shot. And that's honestly really cool.
Yeah. I mean, two potential Hall of Famers for the next 10 years is pretty fun to watch in your backyard.
Yeah.
All right.
I wish that game was here. I would love to go to that.
Oh my God. You don't even know.
Let's just go.
Money.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, sure.
Week 7, we're gonna win the bye. No problems there. Week 8. We keep this is a primetime game. Was it Thursday night?
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Okay, sorry. Sunday night. Bills Packers here. We're gonna keep the tradition alive where Buffalo can't win in Green Bay and Green Bay can't win in Buffalo. So
no comment, but yeah, probably.
Yeah,
it's been like that for the last like 10 years.
Yeah. and if the Bills lose to Kansas City, if that happens, the Bills
off a bye too.
Like they're coming off a bye.
They'll be. Yeah, I don't know who do the Packers play in Week 7? Do you guys know off the top of your heads?
I could tell you.
I could tell you now. They played the Commanders the week before.
Okay.
They could be coming off a win there, so it definitely could be a top tier matchup. But
it should be. I mean, again, Rodgers is older, but Rodgers Allen is still fucking premier. So.
And Bills Packers has been like everyone's like favorite Super Bowl matchup.
Last time Aaron Rodgers was in town, what happened? Was it the worst? No, was it the worst? No, the regular season game. Was it like the worst performance he ever had? Still,
no, it wasn't the worst performance. It was just
I know he didn't throw a touchdown.
It was
statistically, it was one of his worst games he ever had.
Well, the Bills' defense was nuts that year. They also held Peyton Manning without a touchdown.
Yeah, they held Rodgers and Manning without a touchdown, and they let Derek Carr's 3-13 Raiders beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, like Jesus, that was such a Bills year. Their defense was number one that year, fucking stacked, and then they lose to the fucking shit Raiders.
Jesus. All right, Week 9, we go to Jersey to see some scumbags.
I'm not gonna lie. After this, it's kind of.
Oh, we can rip through them then. All right, that's what. All right, then the Vikings come here in Week 10. That's a dub.
Yeah.
I see. That's the. I mean, I expect them to win, but I think that's the toughest remaining home game.
Week 11. That is the week before Deshaun comes back, right?
No, it's 2 weeks because they have a bye.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
His first week is Week 13.
Yeah, so we're gonna slap the shit out of Brissett or whoever the fuck the quarterback is by then.
Thanksgiving.
This one is intriguing, honestly. You can laugh at me all you want, talk shit, but the Lions are not that bad. Okay.
No.
They're not. They play football for their coach. They like their coach. Jared Goff's no slouch, and they have some decent weapons. They have DeAndre Swift. They have Amon St. Ra, like Hawkinson. They drafted
Jameson Williams.
Aiden
Hutchinson. I mean, there's some building blocks there. Are they going to beat the Bills? No.
No.
But
Also, their offensive line was ranked like top 5 because they
This
have
is-
Frank Ragnow as their center.
I think Detroit is like gonna be this like fun team. They're not gonna win a shit ton of games. You're talking 7 or 8 maybe.
But you'll see a spark. You'll see
You'll
something
see-
different.
Yeah, you'll see. It's like the Sabres of last year, honestly, where it's like
Yeah,
they
it's a good
weren't
comparison.
winning, but they were fun to watch.
That's actually a really good comparison.
And I know you guys are a little biased on the Lions, but like as an outsider, I'm not a fan of anyone in that division.
No, it's
No,
it's
I think
cute.
you're
It's
right.
cute. It's cute.
It's like I feel there's almost like a part of me that feels for the Lions fan base. You know, we've been through
Oh, for
it.
sure.
So it's like I always want to see the Lions, and I really like Campbell there. I think he's a great head coach. There's definitely a spark there with him. But this is a dub on Thanksgiving. Keep it rolling.
I mean, you're right on everything you said about the Lions, but if history has taught me anything about that team is Lions are going to lion at some point.
Brown's
Even
still
if it's
Brown.
out of their
Yeah.
control, something is going to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
you're dead right. I think that's a dub. Then we go to week 13, Monday night game, I believe. Right, this is the Monday
At
night
New
game
Yeah.
at New England.
I'm down on them this year.
Yeah,
I
don't
think we
think-
talked about this.
I
I think-
never count out Bill just out of respect, but their roster is just
The
not
roster is
there.
shit.
Yeah.
Joe and you have Joe Judge and Matt Patricia leading your offense.
Yeah, I
Holy
think.
fuck.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say. So we won't dive into that one too much.
I mean, I even told you last year when they were good, like before the playoff game. I mean, I said this could be a blowout because even their defense, I didn't see as like this powerhouse is going to punch you in the mouth or anything like that.
No, 100%. That's fair as shit. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think they
Also,
sweep them.
who do they even have in their defense? Hightower
Judon.
is old.
That's
Hightower
it.
is old. They have Kyle Duggar. They don't have any corners.
No, they're not. McCourty's are gone, right?
Devin's still there, I think.
No, Devin's a safety.
Yeah, they have a bunch of safeties. They have him. They have Jalen Mills. They have Duggar. They have that defensive tackle Godchuk or whatever his name is.
There's
already-
nothing prominent.
We've already talked about the Patriots for too long.
I know.
The next game, week 14, Jets. Yeah, here. That's a slap show. We're gonna beat the
Definitely.
fuck out of them.
Same thing next week. Same thing the week
Yeah.
after that.
Oh,
week-
Jesus Christ, the
Week,
Bears.
week 15 though, this is a flex game.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
it-
it is. You're
So I'm
right.
interested to see where that is. It's the Dolphins. It's
The
here. It could be snow.
The Bears will be playing for Will Anderson by then.
The Bears. Okay, you're on to that next. The Bears are another one that aren't gonna. They're gonna not be good, but they're gonna be fun to watch. Because I
They're going to be
like Justin
awful.
Fields.
Dude,
I just think
no.
I don't.
No, they're gonna be
dislike
the worst
Justin
team in the NFL
Fields,
this
but I
year.
think it's just too much against them.
The
No,
Jets are gonna
they're
be the worst team. in the
Dude, they literally have us as their offensive line, and they have us as their wide receivers. When you have us as our wide receivers and offensive line, you're not going to be in a good point to win games. I feel so bad for him.
All right, next game. Bengals in Cincy. That is a Sunday night game?
Yes,
Monday,
in Cincinnati.
Monday night.
January
Okay.
2nd.
Thank you.
After winning like 7 straight, I could see this one being an L.
You know what though?
No, yeah.
I could see that, but I'm a big believer in that Super Bowl hangover. When the team loses, the next year they start to struggle and things come unhindered. But I do like, you guys know, I like Joe Burrow.
We all like Joe Burrow.
Probably next to Josh Allen, is second favorite player probably in the league.
Joe Burrow is that dude.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this game could be a whole bunch of shit. It could be an injury thing. This game could go a lot of ways that late in the season. So
This
It
is
could
the
decide.
one team. This is the one team I think that weapon-wise can match them as far as just talent.
yeah, that's 100% fair. That'll be a good one to talk about when we do the preview for that one.
This
And
game
then-
could also decide the number 1 seed.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Well, it depending on AFC wins and losses, it could.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if they're both like 12, 13 wins at that point.
the Bengals aren't winning that many games.
See, yeah. He talked about Super Bowl hangover, so I don't know if this is going to be a number 1 seed deciding game.
No, it's us or Casey will be the number one.
It could
seed.
have seeding implications.
It could
like,
have 100%.
I don't know
It
if
could
it
decide
decides
who
the
gets.
number one
It could
seed.
decide who gets the 2 seed.
Probably.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah,
Mhm.
AFC wins loss. Yeah. Week 18. TBD.
Win.
Yeah.
Win.
Yeah.
And then
Is it going to get flexed?
No.
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 Yeah, there's a good chance we're resting starters that week. So
I mean, they'll have the division by the time they play the Bengals too. I mean, they might not even be. I don't know.
What a stretch! Holy shit, that's
Yeah, I mean that's why if we can
really-
survive those first like 6-7 weeks, we're fucking golden. Doesn't even matter.
if they're 4-2 going into the bye, I think they're still good.
They could be 3-3 and still be good.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good point.
I think there'll be a lot of people that freak out at 3-3.
Oh, for sure.
But I think but those might be their only 3 losses the whole rest of the whole season.
I mean, yeah, the only thing to be worried about would be obviously knock on wood injuries and then just the complacency that they have tended to go through when they have a stretch of easy teams. I mean, it can happen. Stuff happens. Like we said with the Jags, any given Sunday. I don't really see a way they lose in that stretch, but you really never know.
Yeah.
But I'm not predicting it. So I could see them having a rough start. You know, sometimes you're not always in the groove right away. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they're ready and they're well coached and everything, but shit can happen, especially in the beginning of a season. And they play a lot of good teams in the beginning. If I always like to do this conservatively because you have to take into account injuries can happen and then shit can just go fluky. 1 week you lose a game you're not supposed to, etc. I'm gonna conservatively say 12-5.
I'm right on. That's right on the nose. That's where I'm at. It could easily go 14 and
Yeah,
but
I would not be shocked anyway.
Yeah,
but I'm just conservatively going 12-5.
I'm the same way. I think we're going to be better than that, but it's very, very conservative because there are a lot of factors.
I say 13-4.
Yeah, and by conservative, I mean there's no way they're worse than 12-5. That's what I mean by 12.
No,
That's like the worst case scenario.
No,
Where, like,
that's
that's their floor.
And 12-5 is the 2 seed, so
yeah,
won't matter.
Could be the 1 seed still.
Guys, are we just doing a halftime show?
Yes, we're doing the halftime show.
I'll be fucking sleeping. Actually, I won't be sleeping because I'm off the next day, but I will be fucking hammered.
Good thing you're off Fridays.
I'd be weirded out if you were sober.
I just got a big bottle of mafia sauce, so we'll be feeling good for halftime. If we're losing, I'm not going to show up. So
even if it's like a field goal,
no, then yeah, we're not going to be losing. We're not going to lose.
All right.
That's good attitude. Know what, DJ? I just want you to show up blasted. Like, that would be fantastic. You was just drunk as shit.
The only problem is I'm off on Fridays, but I have both my kids all day, so
treat yourself.
It's usually I don't want to be around the porcelain throne puking the whole next day with 2 kids fighting each other. So yeah,
I would carry of responsibilities. Jesus Christ.
Just be like
the content, DJ. Think about the content.
One's flying across the fucking globe. The other one closed Domino's in Italy.
You're damn right I did. Get that shit out of my
be
country.
like you guys, okay. Fucking idiots.
I flipped a coin near Clifton Bridge, London. So
we're not talking about this.
Yeah, we're not talking about London. Everyone hates America. Doesn't matter. Even the Brits.
Even our listener on Venus or wherever the hell it was.
Yeah.
That's right. Intergalactic.
Yeah. For anyone who watches this show, hates this show, thinks we at least proved aliens because we had a viewer on, I think it was Venus.
Yes. So no more talking shit, okay? No more talking shit. We can take the heat. No, actually, no, you can talk shit because we don't censor.
Yeah, we don't censor.
We don't censor, no. You can say whatever the fuck you want here.
No,
I don't even know how Twitter works.
We're going to be doing, hopefully, I think, I want to do a lot more Twitter spaces as the season goes on, too. I think so look for us to do that. Maybe less, pre-recorded things. I think we're going to experiment there.
We're going to hopefully be going live in person. So we'll have our best content that we probably ever had once we do that.
Expect that mid-season. After the bye, we're gonna be testing that out.
Unless you know how to do it, then make sure you DM us on 7-1 Blitz
No, we know how to do it.
and let us know how to do it quicker.
DM DJ privately.
Yeah, let me know and we'll figure it out.
We got this.
That's it.
Is that it, guys?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think we're good till halftime.
All right. So if you're still here and you don't completely, think we're total sacks of shit, or even if you do think we're sacks of shit, but we're lovable sacks of shit, give us a follow. Give us a follow on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. That's at 71Blitz.
And remember to follow and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the back of your white Bronco, on the side of Electric Avenue, right down Hollywood Lane, anywhere you can get your premier Bills content.
Oh, and Cousin Carmine just got his green card. You should be seeing him soon, too.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be good.
90 Day Fiance coming to Cousin Carmine.
Go Bills.
All right, guys. I think that's it for today.
Go Bills.
Peace out, table breakers.
At halftime.